10 at the start of this second half. London restart with the boot of Carl Hammond, and they will know that for an hour at Wembley 8 weeks ago they held their own, then they capitulated to a record defeat beneath the Twin Towers. They will not want that to happen again, and I think the coaches of both sides, Steve-O, will have been telling their players, you have simply got to eliminate these mistakes and hold on to the football.
Discipline would have been the key, and I also feel that Graham Murray would have said to Lee Jackson, who really didn't have one run from the dummy half position, and that really is his forte. I think we'll see a little bit more from Jackson this second half.
It's the Rhinos who are in possession right now. Andy Hay plays the ball, Jackson off the ground and into the arms of Harris. A big booming kick downfield from Harris, and Martin Afire will collect it on the bounce. Martin Afire, of course, who has done pretty well against Leeds over the years. Who will ever forget the 10 tries he scored in 1992 in his Wigan days, of course. But this is a slightly different Leeds outfit to the one that was on duty 7 years ago, I fancy.
I think we'll be quite happy just to get one.
Beasley with a good run to the halfway line.
He's going to be an important and key factor for any success for the Broncos, is Beasley. But I must say, Dean Callaway acquitted himself quite well.
Miles forward to Fire. Well, that was a mile and a half forward.
Well, how on earth? Well, I am not surprised that Martin Afire has been shouted at. This from Retchless was like 2 meters forward, but why on earth did he not pass the ball on the inside to Hammond? Hammond is skipper. Well, how forward can you get? The touch judges at the side of him. Hammond went absolutely bananas at him. Retchless quite happy he got away with it, but I can't believe that the touch judge he was stood at the side of Martin Afire.
Well, the touch judge and referee, both of them missed it. This is Darryl Powell, tracked down by Fleming and Timu.
Either way, it was Afire that bombed it. Carl Hammond
good tackling here, though, from London.
Just saying, Carl Hammond was not impressed. Well, you've got to ride the luck. That certainly went with it from the pass from Retchless, and they really should have posted a try there.
Long ball into the arms of Francis Cummins. Ball down by Ryan. Play the ball to Paul Sterling. This is Sinfield again. It's good defence at the start of this second half from London. Sure, Les Kiss would have wanted his team to tighten up in that department as well. We'll check what was said at half-time in a moment as Darryl Powell goes for a 40-20, but underneath it is Martin Afire. Right, let's hear from Bill. What was said, Bill, in those dressing rooms?
Well, you got that London analysis just about spot on there, Eddie. They do want to tighten up on their defence. They wanted to tighten up on their ball retention. They want to tighten up on the aspects of their play towards the end of their sets of 6. They're getting into good positions, the London coaching team of Tony Ray and Les Kiss say, and then they're not taking the right options. They've got to address that issue in this second half because they want to make use of the possession that they've got. The other news from the London camp is that it doesn't look as though Glenn Eyre is going to be able to take any further part in this game because of the knee injury he's picked up. Leeds, the news, as you'd expect really, according to Damien McGrath, assistant coach, it's a tired dressing room at half-time. 1 or 2 players feeling the strain after this long stretch of games, and they're just looking to really hold out here to keep their defence tight, to keep the possession tight, and ride out what they anticipate will be a Broncos storm.
Good take there by the hooker. Lee Jackson, he had to be as well. There was a lot of heavy traffic around him.
Just to emphasise that point that Bill was making, Steve-O, this, if you include all the cup ties as Cummins makes a break, is Leeds' 23rd game of the season. It's been a long old haul, hasn't it, from February to this particular point in June, and a long, long road that stretches ahead of them, all the way to Old Trafford, they hope, on the 9th of October. Golden took that really well, and then he brushed away from Timu, got the pass away to Rivette.
Good work by Francis Cummins. Great break down the left-hand side, give them the opportunity.
Matthew to Farrell.
But you can see that there's no real fire in this Leeds outfit.
Yeah, a lot of fizz has gone out of them. Harris, that's a good kick. That's going to land just in front of the try line. Fleming took it well. Sinfield was clattered, I think, in back play and hit the deck.
No real pressure by the full-back, though. He's acquitted himself well since they switched him back into that position shortly after that Wembley appearance. There's running repairs by the man that's just done the tackle there, Lee Jackson. No, I come to think maybe Jackson has gone into this game carrying a bit of an injury.
Hold it, Andrew.
5 minutes of this second half gone. Broncos in possession with Scott Crown. Ball goes to ground, but it went backwards, so it's play on, and Mac Toshak will carry it on, but back amongst all the heavy traffic there.
Well, it's important that the London... Oh, dearie me. It's important that the London side keep this ball alive. They've got to try to run Leeds off their feet.
That was the turnover on the last. So this is a glorious opportunity now for the Rhinos.
What a mistake by Beasley. Usually so solid.
I was going to say he's normally Mr. Reliable, isn't he? Here's Andy Hay.
Don't be surprised if Leeds start looking for the one-pointers.
Here now is Powell. Misses out one and finds Harris. Harris, beautiful ball back on the inside to Cummins. Oh, super try. Second try for Francis Cummins. Super try from Leeds. We said they'd lost their fizz. They suddenly rediscovered it then. The bubbles came back. Harris to Cummins, what a try.
All came about by the knock-on by Beasley, and they didn't miss it. Just a simple run across. It was Harris that created the try. Similar fashion in the first half, and Cummins coming in at the right moment. No great science with it. They didn't need it. Just a simple switch across on the angle. It caught the London defence.
Well, Francis Cummins, he has really impressed lately while playing in the centres. Got a Wembley try against the London Broncos as well, ever present. 17 tries last year. I rather fancy he is well on the way to surpassing that mark in 1999. And now Iestyn Harris with his 6th kick at goal, and this should be the 5th success. And Les Kiss and Tony Ray. Tony Ray also, of course, chief executive here at the Stoop for the Broncos. Les Kiss in charge of the coaching with Tony Ray, and that will not be the start that they would have wanted, but exactly right for Leeds. Well, I think Iestyn Harris has used that so often this year that the Rhinos ought to invest in a new one for him. Steve-O, another $1 million on the way for you.
Well, it looks something that you'd likely to see as a vacuum in a swimming pool, isn't it? I think they just cut off one of the pipes and hopes that it holds the ball.
Oh, you've got a swimming pool then, have you?
Didn't say I had. As it happens, I have. Pretty big, the ocean.
Harris then. Oh, this tee is worn out.
Will someone quickly go down to the Thames, grab some sand and just dump it on the ground?
Well, Lee Jackson's got to apply fingertip control.
Make sure you hit it, Iestyn is saying. It's the white one, Iestyn.
He's going to give it a stick from the crowd. There we are. Misses. Well, it's amazing, isn't it? London stay within touching distance. And Iestyn Harris is having a go at the trainer about the kicking tee.
Well, you can see how that he just run the angle, Iestyn Harris. Look how Cummins is coming back. The man circled in defence. Well, he failed to fill in, and it was a neat step. Well finished, though, by Cummins.
Adrian Morley's on the field, carrying a couple of knocks after the long, hard season that he has had. Sinfield is wrestled to the ground by Beasley, whose mistake led to that last Leeds try. This is Matthew. Jamie Matthew, another effective substitute. 78th appearance for Leeds now, 53rd as a substitute. Here's Farrell. London scrambling in defence now.
We mention it so often, don't we, the fact that you have to take your chances, but maybe ruin the fact with London that Beasley came up with that simple knock-on, no pressure applied at all. And from it, Leeds have taken full control.
Fleming allows the ball to bounce, there was no pressure on him. Morley was the first to greet him.
And that's all that's needed now. Good kick and chase, make sure you've got a one line of defence and let the clock just tick away.
Chris Ryan takes Matthew back a couple of paces, 10 metres from the halfway line. Beasley, inside it goes to Siebold, back to Beasley. It's opened up a little for Beasley. Good job that Matthew got hold of his shirt tails. He's grounded on halfway. Tollett now to scamper away from dummy half.
Well, it's getting to that point where the Broncos have to become a little bit more adventurous.
Oh, that's a high kick and far too deep from Carl Hammond.
20, not before the whistle.
Not the best from Carl Hammond, and he knows it too.
Penalties here, don't let him away.
And Leeds are in no rush to bring this game back into play.
Lay on the whistle.
As you can see, there's the water carriers are out in force.
Well, that's understandable. It's so warm. You've got to keep taking the liquids on board.
Come on. Okay.
One out football from Leeds. The kick chase. Bring the centres and the wingers into the central area. Make sure they close Fleming down, the London full-back. Composure will be the key now for the Rhinos.
Matthew to halfway for Leeds, protecting this 9-game unbeaten run in Super League. Fleming's after this, catches it on the bounce. Right, let's go down to pitch side as Greg Fleming makes this break, halted by Matthew.
This game is the last opportunity for the newly appointed Leeds coach-to-be, Dean Lance, to take a look at the side. That's Dean Lance just behind Graham Murray in your shot there. And I'm not so sure it's the memory you'd want to go back to Australia with of this performance, because it's not the Rhinos at their best.
No, it isn't, but he was our guest on the programme, you may remember, last Friday, and he is looking forward immensely to the challenge of taking over the reins at Headingley next year, Dean Lance. And we will welcome him with open arms, of course, saying farewell to Graham Murray, sadly. High kick from Hammond, that's a much better kick. Oh, Leeds have allowed it to bounce, could be fatal. The palm back, though, was straight from Dominic Peters into the arms of Jackson.
Well, Peters did everything right, the Leeds defence did everything wrong, and Jackson came up with it. Thank you very much indeed.
Here's Carl Pratt now for the Rhinos. Second appearance against Castleford in midweek as a substitute, and he did well when he replaced Justin Harris.
Well, you say this Leeds outfit, they are looking very tired, and they're certainly not hitting the high spots we've seen earlier in this year, but when you've got a 10-point lead, things can't be too bad. They'll be happy with that.
Farrell off, McDermott on.
McDermott, I think, lost control of that football, but the kicking game has been good. They've been able to keep the ball well away from Greg Fleming, but he's a good runner.
As he proves there before Matthew brings him down.
Went too high, did Golden.
Marvin Golden was caught for a quick swat at the face.
Well, Graham Murray will not be impressed with that. Good kick and chase, and it's allowed the fullback not only to get valuable 30 metres out of his own quarter, but they've given away another 40 metres.
Great penalty taken by Hammond. London then with an opportunity here. Beasley goes into dummy half after Siebold drives it in. This is Toshak. Here's Wynyard. The ball spills. Dominic Peters picks it up.
Well, they've got to keep this ball alive. Just keep swinging it across from left to right and then back again. Run this outfit, the Rhinos, off their feet.
Hammond showed it to Ryan. That's great defence, led by Adrian Morley. They've forced the Broncos back. Reckless now to try and regather the ground. Gives it to Siebold, on to Timu. Golden shot out of the line to claim him.
Great tackle as well. Took the gamble. Could have been penalised, not getting out of the play the ball area.
Here's Hammond again, that little chip over the top. But Jackson read the script that time. Jackson, though, is hurt in claiming that.
Collision with Hammond's leg.
Flying boots.
He really stuck the leg out there. Now, was that a deliberate trip? According to Lee Jackson, referee Steve Ganson said it's innocuous. I'm not so sure. Oh, you could see that Jackson had already had the football in his hand for a couple of seconds. Looking to get away with that, Hammond. That's the debris that is left in the form of Lee Jackson.
Well, he hops away from the situation.
Give it to Lee to play.
And the referee wants Lee Jackson, who is the injured player, to play the ball. Harris then was the dummy half. Here comes McDermott again on the charge.
Oh, he lost that.
Well, how can we see these things and the officials can't?
Maybe that wasp has got in the touch judge's eyes, diverted his attention. It was quite clear, wasn't it? The knock on. Leeds won't matter. Commanding 10-point lead. Kick and chase yet again. Bit like chess at the moment.
Powell's kick, but Fleming had read that script.
Full credit to the Rhinos, though. They really have tightened their defence. And again, London being sucked into one-out play when all they need to do is just keep standing deep.
Running onto the football like that from Ryan. Morley with a good tackle on him. Beasley gets it away to Scott Cram.
Now they've got to utilise the link here, surely.
Tullett on to Hammond. Hammond wide to Fleming. Harris did well. Last tackle for London. Hammond into the open spaces. Sterling is there, a fire is there. Sterling wins the race.
Good kick there over by Hammond. Martin Fire just couldn't get there. Sterling read it well. Interference.
Wynyard is penalised.
Well, that's stupidity at a time when you're trying to get back into the game. The tackle is being completed.
Well, Wynyard was the man who I think did the shouting, and Beasley was also adding his for Penrith, and the referee has warned him any more of that and he'll be on his way.
Well, they've been sucked into it here. Full credit to the Leeds outfit. Nothing spectacular. Well, was that played correctly? Okay, according to Steve Ganson. Did it move backwards?
Hay to Golden. Good tackling by Timu. Carl Pratt, the dummy half. Oh, not the best. Jackson allowed it to bounce past him. Powell picked up the pieces. Here is Sinfield. Last tackle for Leeds then. Morley, arm bandaged, gives it to Powell, and Powell drills it into touch. That's experience for you. One or two flakes of grey there.
Nice kick though from Powell. He realises the importance of eating up the clock, forcing London back into their own quarter. And the way that they've been coming up with the mistakes, the percentage is going against the Broncos. The time certainly is.
Tollett gets possession from the scrum, gives it to Ryan, and Ryan tries to straighten it up.
First, yeah, come on.
Broncos certainly are not having it all their own way as they have in the past two matches against Sheffield and Hull.
Well, you can see there now the Leeds defence moving up ever so quickly.
You have to say also that Leeds aren't having it all their own way as they did in their last two matches, either against Bradford and Castleford.
Retchless picked up an injury.
It's a real arm wrestle, this. Only 10 points in it. The match is still there for the winning.
Well, Leeds are really showing some character here.
Booming kick downfield from Hammond.
Will he get the kick? No.
Just went the wrong side of the corner flag, but he was looking for the 40-20 kick then to give his team head and feet at any resulting scrum. Goes touch and goal, so it's a 20-metre tap for Leeds to restart.
It's a massive kick, wasn't it? Wrong side of the corner post.
By about 2 metres, that's all.
There again, Leeds extremely slow to bring this game to the restart.
Can't blame them.
No. But Les Kiss really has to get the message out now and say, look, we're running out of time, boys.
Morley running strongly. Jackson, Matthew, big hit. Retzless in there, Ryan in there. Harris, on it goes to Powell. Powell out wide to Golden, all wrapped up again by John Timu. He's going to get off him.
Been a good contest, hasn't it, between the two sets of centres, Ryan, Timu, Golden, Cummins. Come up with some good hits throughout this match.
Barry McDermott.
Oh, that was silly play.
And Barry McDermott claiming the ball was knocked out of his hand, but the referee unimpressed. He says this is the last. And Beasley just missed Harris. Managed to get away.
What a great kick.
It's a super kick too.
Under so much pressure, and gains Leeds some valuable metres forward.
Fire did well.
So did Harris. Once again, this Leeds defence forcing London into one-out football. They're playing into the Rhinos' hands.
Toshak looked left then, but Dominic Peters was way behind him. Here is
that was high from Powell. Beasley's losing his cool. That will not help matters.
Hang on, no, wait, I want to talk to him. It's the second one.
Leeds will be quite happy to keep continuing with this arm wrestle, because that's what it is.
All right, let me
Definitely
explain.
over the shoulders.
Listen, I'm not going to make a big thing of it, but that's 2 on the bounce, all right? Yes, then just get a grip and don't get in the frame for high tackles. Okay, just bring them down. Okay.
Looks like Retzless is leaving the field.
Yes, and Peter Gill will return.
Picked up a knock. Well, at least Gill does have the skills to throw the dummy. They've got to come up with something different. Leeds not by the 10.
Seabold restarts and will charge at that line, and he will score. Anthony Seabold gets the try. Now, Leeds were penalised for not standing back to 10 metres when the original penalty was taken. Seabold was very, very quick. Did he get a foot to the ball? We will see here.
Interesting. There's the first time that he gets a penalty. Now, does he tap it? He did the second time. They were all offside again. Went through Matthew. Well, that's quick thinking. The prop forward, Anthony Seabold, who worked extremely hard in the first half. Opportunity to try, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
It could not have come at a better time for the Broncos. Seabold, of course, London mounted a special dispensation to try and get him to play in the Challenge Cup final and failed. And maybe after that they wish he had been there. Well, they're not dead and done yet, the Broncos, and this from Tollett will bring them back even further. And Tollett straight between the H. It's 16 points to 20. Now then, the big question, have Leeds got enough left to keep them out? Seabold and his try appeared to show that Leeds were just a little flat-footed in defence. We shall see.
Well, they were all offside, weren't they? But full credit to the prop forward. Seabold took the advantage. Referee Steve Ganson is going back to 10. And when Seabold tapped it, there wasn't one Leeds player had marched back the required 10 metres.
Who's your man of the match? 0660 10 10 13. The prize, if you predict the losing coach's choice correct, is a couple of tickets for the grand final at Old Trafford on October the 9th. 0660 10 10 13. But who will be the losing coach and who will be the man of the match? I fancy he might yet emerge, you know, in the last 17 and a half minutes of this game. Certainly Leeds are looking very, very tired.
Well, if ever the game needed a try, this one did. Came at the right moment. Now then, will the Broncos use a bit of common sense and keep this ball alive? Stand deep. Don't have to make too much progress. Make sure that their linking qualities are good.
That's the last for the Broncos. Still in their own half, and Hammond hammers the ball downfield. Carl Pratt makes a mess of it.
Well, it's been an unhappy evening for Carl Pratt. And just when you needed to consolidate and calm things down.
Well, a big money buy from Featherstone Rovers, 25 tries in 33 for the Rovers in 1998. Carl Pratt has not really established himself yet at Headingley, and I wonder how costly that little error might prove to be.
Well, remember, it was a knock-on from Beasley that allowed Cummins to score early in the second half. What can the Broncos do? Oh, what a big hit from Morley. Fleming felt that.
Well done.
I felt that from up here. This is Peter Gill. Timu is the man at dummy half. This is Seabold again. Back it goes to Timu. All wrapped up by the Leeds defence, though.
Very slow from the dummy half position. Beasley should get it away quickly.
This is Hammond. Tried to throw the dummy again. Matthew and Powell this time weren't fooled. Beasley dummy half, the right under the Leeds sticks. Tollett, back it goes to Ryan. Leeds now scrapping and battling in defence. Here's Tollett, stabs it through, and Powell drops on the loose ball.
One of the Leeds players is flat out, collided with Tollett. Couldn't get a good kick in the end.
It's Barry McDermott as Marvin Golden is pushed back towards his own try line. This is a real scrap now for the Rhinos. Rivette.
This is where they have to dig deep. This is where Tolliking and McDermott really put his body on the line. Came off second best. Les Kiss. Tense moments for him.
Harris offloads to McDermott. He's back up on his feet, Barry McDermott.
Of course, Les Kiss, the only Super League coach at the moment with an unbeaten record.
That's true. That was a great tackle back on Cummins, and it had to be as well. This is the last, and Leeds are running it for the time being with Powell, who will test the fire, and Fleming with the kick. Fleming safe under it. Powell chasing.
He's had a big game as Greg Fleming, but the kick was just a little bit wayward there, right down the throat. Most of this second half, the kicks from Leeds have been very good indeed. They've split the winger and the fullback.
Robbie Simpson gets to his feet. Tolson Tollett now. Peter Gill in centre field. Flicks it away to Timu. Timu will come down the middle. Tried to get the pass away.
Still play on. That'll be back to 6. Good refereeing there by Steve Ganson. There was no knock-on involved. It hit the foot. Oh, now then, was Hay offside? It certainly came off a Leeds player.
This is Morley. Morley wrestled to the floor by Hammond, and the referee has seen that a Leeds player, Darryl
Powell, I think.
Powell it is. He's got a bad bang on the head.
Well, while the injured Powell is getting treatment, there is Peter Gill with, well,
blood streaming from his eyebrow. Looks like it might have been a clash of heads. Wonder if Bill saw it any differently on the sideline.
No, pretty good view though, just down in front of us on the 40-metre line, just inside when Powell and Gill collided, and as you saw, Peter Gill with blood coming from his head. But the worry is Darryl Powell, who's just getting to his feet now, but looking very, very groggy indeed.
Well, I think that's a blood bill from Peter Gill. I don't think that he's split. It was a definite clash of heads, you know, that head clash, but I think that it just splattered so much. Well, maybe there is a nick in there. Yeah, you can see the trickle of claret. Well, Leeds here really should have sorted themselves out while they were having treatment of Powell to set up for the 1 point.
Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Farrell wrestled to the ground. That's the third tackle. Now there's a penalty.
They'll take 2.
They're bound to. Mind you, there's that kicking tee that's a little faulty. And Bill has news of the kicking tee.
It's going, if Iestyn Harris is going for goal, it's going to be interesting to see what he used, because there was a debate going on here about whether London could provide him with some sand, and that's what he's using. So they've given up. The sand's not being very cooperative either, is it?
We can't get the sand out of the container.
That's London sand for you. But the kicking tee was in such a state, it was already held together with sticky tape, and I think that had given up, so this is why he's having to revert to the good old-fashioned technique.
Well, they must have sent away to Brighton Beach, did they, Steve-O, for that?
I said the Thames, plenty of sand in there. Good quality as well.
You see it most nights, don't you, from your...
There's wonders for the carnations.
Right, Harris with this penalty. Oh, and he gets 2 more points for Leeds just to ease the pressure a touch. But it's only a try and a goal. London is still in the hunt.
Didn't do too badly for him, did it? But again, this lack of discipline. We mentioned it at half-time. 3 silly penalties by the Broncos allowed Harris the opportunity to kick 3. And he's been gifted another one there. That's 8 points. And as you can see, the scoreline, he has been the difference.
Yes, he has. His kicking has been so important tonight. Another blood bin is reversed by the Rhinos, by the way.
Well, surely Graham Murray will be sending out the message to say to the fellas, try to get a good run, get upfield. Justin Harris quite capable of slotting over that 1 point. There's a swinging arm, and that's lack of discipline yet again. Someone's done all the hard work, and then you see Cram goes over the top.
Quick tap penalty by Harris, catches London on the back foot.
Hands up, hands up.
Well, someone's on his way to the bin now, and I'm afraid that Robbie Beasley has been chirruping and chatting to referee Steve Ganson all night.
Fully deserved too. You can't just say what you like at any given time to the referee Steve Ganson. You have a bloke out there who's the captain. He's the only one that should speak to the official. We've just seen that they've given a penalty. This will be number 5. They're now down to 12 men. You can virtually say they have blown their chance of winning this game against a Leeds outfit that is quite obviously out on their feet.
And it's a great escape, won't it, for the Rhinos, this?
Well, they've just gone through the motions, and it's full credit to them. They've acted with a lot of discipline. Les Kiss knows that the Broncos haven't, and not surprisingly, Graham Murray will say, we've won this quite easy.
So another kick from Harris to stretch the lead. Misses it.
Well, that is a let-off.
It's a massive let-off.
But let's not forget that the Broncos are down to 12 men. Mr. Beasley kicking his heels on the sideline. And I'm not so sure that Tony Ray and Les Kiss will be impressed with that.
No, they have to bat out time almost now, don't they, with the 1 man down. Who's your man of the match? 0660 10 10 13. 2 tickets on offer for the grand final, of course, at Old Trafford, and try and predict who the losing coaching staff will choose as their man of the match. Golden, that was forward to
forward a mile. Well, what on earth is this touch doing? And finally,
well, it's Steve Ganson who's given that. The touch judge had his flag up for the man in touch.
Pass was forward to the Leeds player.
The referee is absolutely right. It was forward to the Leeds player.
Well, it is from Golden to Pratt. But why on earth did Newton want to offload anyway? They've still got that 6-point lead.
Here's Carl Hammond, and Hammond was almost away. It was great tracking down by Rivette.
But he's been quiet for quite some time as Carl Hammond. And he's the type of man, oh, that's a great hit from Hay. He's the type of man that the Broncos need, because they've got to certainly be more adventurous. This one-out stuff is only just playing into the hands of this Leeds defence.
Steve Ganson trying to get Leeds back the 10 metres with the earpiece for the coach in the stand.
Did well there, Newton. He knew he got him high, so he released him.
Could have been the referees coaching the stand, by the way, Steve-O, that gave the call for that forward pass, come to think of it.
Let's hope so.
Certainly wasn't the touch judge, there's no doubt about that. Tollett. Oh, Hammond.
Not too impressed, Carl Hammond. Wasn't the best pass out wide. Oh, hey!
Off he goes. Oh, great ankle tap on him. The tackle is not completed. It stopped the momentum, though, and it stopped Andy Hay getting another long-range try, as he did against Bradford last Friday. Here's Harris. Here's Sinfield. Now Rivette. Rivette trying to go the other side of Timu, who's had a big game in defence. Golden dummy half. Sinfield to Harris. Here's Morley. Morley up the middle. Support arrives from Jackson. Jackson. Fleming gets to him. 10 metres away.
Where's Harris? Will he go for the one?
Leeds looking to wrap this match up. Morley out wide. Oh, Sterling puts it down. That could have been the game, set and match. As it is, London is still alive.
Well, he took the gamble there. Martin Fire would breathe a huge sigh of relief. He'd gone into Cummings, and it was open out wide. That really would have sealed it all up. Not the best pass. Martin Fire was really caught out.
10 handling errors, 20 missed tackles from Leeds, 17 missed tackles from London. And yet it's Leeds who are winning the match at the moment by 6 points with 6 minutes left for play. Down to 12 men, of course. It was a good run from Seabold. Timu dummy half, Wynyard. But it's all one-out football from the London Broncos. As Steve-O says, there has been a need during the course of this second half for a change of tactics.
40-20. That's what he's going for, but he won't make it. Oh!
Sterling made a bit of a mess of it. He allowed Ryan and Fire to close in on him. And so now London will hunt the mistake, and there it might have been. Terry Newton did well, but Timu has been like a terrier in defence.
Didn't play that ball either. Wasn't standing square, never got a foot to it.
Golden, he did.
Sign of a very tired outfit.
Farrell, up the middle he goes.
They really have bruised it out, haven't they, Leeds? Full credit to them.
Jackson.
Mark of a champion side.
Great ball to Cummings.
Not yet, of course, though. They've got the Challenge Cup.
Last one here for Leeds, still in their own half. Harris will kick, surely. There it is. And Peters. Everybody in this ground holds their breath when the ball arrives on Peters' wing.
Oh, that went high. That's got to be... Oh, he's going to allow play on. Well, that was well over the shoulders.
Sinfield has it for Leeds. This could be the moment that Leeds wrap the match up. Hay to Harris. They want it wide. Rivette, they must score.
No,
Golden.
forward.
Forward.
It was.
Yes, it was.
They have bombed it.
They've blown a golden opportunity.
Well, they
no pun intended.
They did not deserve to score that try, because I thought that Dominic Peters was fouled whilst bringing the ball away from within his own quarter. But they really have missed the opportunity to seal this game good and proper. This is the hit. Oh, well, I don't know. Did the arm come up 50-50 maybe?
I think the contact was made on the shoulder. Peters certainly lost it, and the Broncos get out of jail again. Here is Chris Ryan now. And here's Tollett. London looking for something in the last moments here with Timu, so big on defence, now in attack, but scrapped to the floor by Golden and Harris. Leeds digging deep on their reserves. Seabold dummy half, Tollett onto Cram. He gets away from Morley. Cram will straighten it up.
Well, isn't it amazing, with only minutes to go, the London Broncos trying to keep this ball alive, something they should have been doing all this second half, or in the last few seconds.
Hammond to a Fire, and a Fire out wide to Ryan, who applies the brakes and then comes back this way, straightens it up.
Did well, did Ryan. So close to the whitewashed end.
What a great tackle from Paul Sterling. Up goes the bomb from Hammond. Timu is after this. The ball bounces. And Iestyn Harris sweeps up at the back. And they can't get hold of him.
How's that for being relaxed?
What a great bit of play there from Iestyn Harris.
Did well, did Peters, put him under a lot of pressure. Harris just ambled across within his own goal area. The London chase had forgotten to go up on the right-hand side. They did well on the left. Ooh, that was close forward. Well, the touch judge has seen that one. He gave the nod to the official in the middle. Ooh, that's a bad mistake there from Cummins. At a time where they don't need to do that.
A nervy last couple of minutes then for Leeds. London within 6, trying a goal to level it.
Oh, what an awful pass from Tullett.
Timu all wrapped up by Marvin Golden.
Leeds have no fullback. They're trying to point, they've still got no fullback. He still hasn't dropped back.
Tullett takes the tackle. Callaway's at dummy half. Here comes Peter Gill. Peter Gill tackled by young Sinfield and by Golden. If Leeds get this victory, it will be a great testimony to their strength of character. Fleming out the back door. Hammond knock on, the referee says. It'll be against Leeds. It will be head and feed to London.
Well, he tried to keep it alive. Head and feed will be to Leeds. It came off Hammond. It was a flick from Fleming.
This side. Through.
Well, he comes up with a mistake. Can't fault Fleming there. He tried to keep the ball alive.
Referee did well to spot that. Here's Harris.
Up the jumper time now. Well, what a brave effort it's been by this Leeds outfit.
It has. They're heading for second spot in the Super League table tonight. And this defeat really does make it look very, very difficult for the Broncos to claim a place in the top 5 and the playoffs at the end of the season now.
Up the jumper time.
This is Matthew, onto Sinfield, lovely dummy, finds Andy Hay, Hay to Morley, Morley's got Newton, he should really have passed to him, Morley wants a quick play the ball, he's dropped that,
Never
but it might
played
be
it.
the penalty.
Penalty.
Oh, no. He's given the knock on against Morley.
Well, I think it was being interfered with there.
He was.
Well, is this the last chance? Well, he could see there it was impeded.
He was, it should have been a penalty. Leeds. Hammond with a booming kick, but he's not found touch. Yes, he has. Well, this is the last hurrah for the London Broncos. It's got to be a hoof and a kick and a chase.
Up it goes.
Hammond puts the midfield bomb in. Who's after it? Leeds get it, and Golden claims it, and Leeds claim a very, very important victory. They go to second in the table. The match is all over. Leeds have won by 22 points to 16. They were coasting it after the try from Cummins in the 6th minute of this second half. 20 points to 10. Seabold with the try and Tullett's goal gave us a real finish to savour, but the London side will point to indiscipline, because it has been 4 Iestyn Harris penalties that has won this match for the Leeds Rhinos. Having said that, they had to dig deep on reserves of spirit, courage, endeavour and fitness to claim the win. And claim the win the Leeds Rhinos have. They move to second place in the table, just behind the Bradford Bulls, just ahead of St Helens. And so a good night at the office for Iestyn Harris and the Leeds Rhinos, but the indiscipline of the London Broncos has cost them the match.